Hi Capricorn, this is your May 2025 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, it's your reading. Thanks so much for joining me on the channel. It's Romy here. We are going to open up for you this month with the energy of the Queen of Wands. I feel it's very much about power and a little patience this month. There's so much that's coming together, but I'm not sure that you're really seeing it quite yet. That could bring about a little bit of frustration through the month of May. However, there is enough of the willpower and determination that you have invested in some aspect of your life in the last few weeks and months that you're set to see enough evidence showing up that helps you to continue and to keep progressing, okay? And I think that that's going to be really important for you this month. Like, you just need to know that what you're doing is the right thing, or that what you're feeling can be trusted and counted on. And I believe that you'll get that answer, and you'll get it in a positive way. You also have some very quick growth with regards to something happening in this month ahead. Now, Taurus season brings a driven, dynamic energy, and this is a month of breakthroughs, okay? And for you in 5th house energy through Taurus season, there is almost like this new creative drive that's calling you towards something. I feel though that you might struggle a little bit early on in the month, particularly when Pluto goes retrograde in Aquarius, in terms of like really almost seeing that this is something that's possible for you. You know, you might be having some inner power struggles going on. And it may be that in order to harness this creative drive, or to see yourself being able to move forward in this particular pathway, that you do have to confront something about yourself, within yourself. And the invitation here in Aquarius energy with this Pluto cycle is about doing things differently, but doing them in the way that is uniquely you, right? It's about truly understanding like the gifts that you bring forth. And if up to this point you have been trying to fit in, or to conform, or to show up in a way that you think was the right way to do it, and that hasn't been working, there's definitely like a step change that's going to take place for you through the month of May, where it just says, okay, like I've got to try it a different way. I've got to find a new approach with regards to this. And we know that our growth is only happening to the same degree that we are really accepting the truth about ourselves. And you've got the 7 of Swords here. And in a way, I just think that there's almost this like no more lying to yourself. But that is in a really liberating, positive way. You know, we know that life doesn't necessarily get easier. But what does happen is that we get wiser and stronger. We get more resilient, and we become more sovereign. I also think that your back is turned away from the 7 of Swords. So there's also a part of you that is absolutely ready to disengage from the people, the energies, the situations that are coming across disingenuously to you, that are not adding anything to your life, that in fact are feeling like they're just pulling you down, and that you don't really agree with the expression of energy that's coming from that place. And I think that once you've made that decision as well, a lot of other things start to come into a much more clear focus for you as well. Now, we've got the full moon arriving in Scorpio on the 12th. Now, that's an intense energy at the best of times, but Mercury and Pluto are also adding to the conversation and bringing a little bit more intensity to it. Now, it lights up your 11th house, so there might be some interesting things developing in terms of your friendship groups, communities that you're a part of. Remember that Scorpio energy is highly magnetic and very compelling, and so that can be used advantageously if you're really wanting to get your message across, or, you know, show up in a way that really strengthens the power of what you're doing, what you have to say, or what is your important focus. There are also, however, energies that get activated around that Scorpio moon that can feel quite deep and penetrating. So it might also bring about a little bit of discomfort. You might even find that, someone tries to call you out, or there's some sort of ruckus or drama that happens in a group energy, and that might leave you feeling a bit confused or a bit unclear. And so maybe there's a moment where you have to kind of step back and reflect, and then maybe step back in to assert your boundaries or to speak your truth. So there may be some conflict or challenge that arises, but out of it, I think again there's this clarity and focus that comes through for you. Now, why does this matter, Capricorn? It matters because this is not just about you asking for the things that you want in your life now. It's about you becoming those things. And that means that this is also an opportunity to have like a mindful check-in on where there are mixed signals and contradictions that are still coming from your energy field. And so look upon it as like some of the things that happen through the month of May being ideal opportunities for you to just make an adjustment or to see something that perhaps you weren't quite clear on previously. And that just helps to draw your focus in and really get you to address something that perhaps, even though you weren't necessarily aware of it, was actually sabotaging or tampering with your efforts to be able to experience and to realize something. You've got the investment here, and again, I feel like there are opportunities that are surfacing this month, and they're good, and they can be trusted, and they're powerful, right? And they offer you these sort of breakthrough moments. It may be though that there's also some sort of, I don't know, almost like a little bit of guilt attached. Like maybe it's like you really want out of something, or you want to leave your job, or you want to stop doing something, but you realize that the impact or the effect that that's going to have, on people close to you, but also perhaps colleagues or people that you work for, so maybe there's just a little bit of inner conflict or something that you need to resolve within yourself. Remember though, when you are kind of really in alignment with yourself, being given the direct instructions as to what the next action is that you need to take in order to be where you're supposed to be. And this is definitely a month where too many opinions from other people is going to be problematic for you to hear what your true voice is. Okay, now these 3 breakthrough days I want to just call out to you. The first being the 17th, where the Sun and Uranus come together. So there's something a little bit surprising that happens. It may be that you're the one that's giving the surprise in terms of an announcement, but it could be news, information, some sort of unfolding. And it definitely feels to me about your consideration of the investment in regards to something and what you're getting back from it, right? And then really assessing things in a little bit of a new way. If you are feeling a little bit lost, please know that you are just in the process of discovering a new direction, Capricorn. Okay, and that's where I'm also saying that I don't think that you're necessarily being given the full picture just quite yet, but they're giving you enough to sort of help you to feel like, not everything is lost here, okay? You might, however, be in the opposite end of the spectrum with this and just be absolutely crystal clear about what's important and what matters. And in some ways, this could be a season where you're finding a sense of belonging in a way that you haven't ever before, or you certainly haven't for some time. So this 5th house, remember, in Taurus energy also asks you to reflect upon your passion, the relationship that you have with passion. And that's going to, cut across areas like romance, like creativity, what you do for pleasure. It connects in with the energy of children as well in the 5th house. So all of these themes are coming up with perhaps specific events and situations that again help you to look at things in your life in a new way. And our perceptions are constantly being challenged at the moment, but I see a sensitivity and a receptivity from you in this month. Even though there's definitely like an ongoing intensity, what also arises in May is this need to resolve things, okay? And we need to resolve them in the right way so that we can clear the way ahead for ourselves. So that means if you've got some kind of issue with somebody, or if there's something that hasn't been dealt with or that you haven't been able to acknowledge in yourself, you're getting the drive to really deal with it. And I think one of the things that might come up for you, and you may even find yourself just blurting it out, right, is that I just don't want this, or I don't want it, or I don't want them. You know, whatever it is, it's just like the truth. The truth speaks almost before you've got a chance to kind of hold back. And as those words come out of your mouth, there's also something quite liberating in that as well. But then it does beg the question, well, if that's what I don't want, what is it that I do want? And then there's a deeper exploration, but this is where this creative drive and this passion feels like it's also bubbling up to support you, to really find the new direction that might be trying to come online, and perhaps the only thing that's really preventing it is you right now, you know. And again, not purposefully, just, you know, because of the old energies, the old ways that are still holding on to you pretty tightly, right? So as the sun shifts into Gemini on the 20th, and we're into 6th house energy for you, you know, we're looking at our day-to-day routines, we're thinking about, you know, how we want to show up and be of service. I like that we've got these two kings and also the king and queen here. You've got some really powerful, motivating energies around you that feel like they're also reminding you who you are, what you're capable of. And sometimes when we lose sight of the brilliance of self, you know, if we, you know, lose a little bit of confidence, or we can't see the wood for the trees, or something no longer makes sense to us, it can be super helpful to just open up and have the dialogue with people who, you know, can mirror back to us things about ourselves that maybe we haven't been able to recognize, or, you know, we've forgotten. And I think that you've got a little bit of that coming in around that sort of 20th right up to the 24th, where our next breakthrough day happens as Mercury and Uranus get together. It's the same day that Saturn shifts into Aries, so that's going to be a powerful new conversation that is initiated as well. Now, I think there's a bit of a rising sense of excitement because all of a sudden a vision feels more palpable. It feels like it's more doable, more real, and maybe all of a sudden you can see yourself in the vision. And again, this is sort of coming back full circle to what I said about you needing to become what it is that you seek, and that the check-in around the mixed signals and contradictions is getting cleared up in a way that all of a sudden you've got that clear path ahead, right? And that King of Wands energy is going to be super helpful for you. Now, maybe there's a risk that needs to be taken, okay, but in and around that date you're sort of feeling it, you're up for it, and you know, you're working your way up toward the 26th, which is our new moon in Gemini. And the thing to remember about that is that the wisdom that you have is powerful. It's powerful. Now, I said at the beginning of the reading that we have this power and patience sort of combination that I feel is in flow for you this month. You are elevated and in a position where you can see exactly what's going on, and you're also picking your timing. Now, Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit definitely suggest this sort of wait energy. I think that's where the patience sort of comes in a little bit for you, okay? You don't need to rush or force anything, particularly when you're in a place of identifying a new direction, or coming into a place of alignment with a new creative drive or a new feeling. It's almost like there's a new energy in you, and you've never felt it before. So you've got to take a little bit of time to really understand what it is and how you want to work with it and what it means for you in your life. So that's why I think it's going to be super beneficial around that new moon in Gemini. You know, you're thinking through cerebrally, you know, a lot of different options, a lot of different considerations are happening, and you just don't want to be too overwhelmed and you know, have too much kind of pulling on you around that time. Otherwise, a tendency to kind of spiral out, or to get over anxious or just quite stressed is quite real. But there's a flood of information and downloads that are coming, and for me these two are a pretty powerful, sometimes unlikely combination, but actually they merge perfectly in terms of what it is that we need for you this month, because your fire energy brings the passion, the outlook, the vision, the courage and the heart, but then it's underpinned by this wisdom and this resiliency and this lived experience. And that matters, right? Because anything that, you know, you have to impart and to teach others, which is inherently why we're here, right? Learn. develop, grow, you know, comes from this place of lived experience. Now, there might be a sense through the month where you are feeling a little bit isolated, or you are kind of wondering, I don't know, it's almost like the in-between, you know, maybe you're shifting a friendship group, or you've come out of one community and you've not quite found another, or there's just something going on with an important relationship and maybe there's a bit of distance or separation. All of that is okay. You know, it's a temporary cycle that you're in, and the invitation here is just to be in that right now, you know, not try to rush too quickly to get away from it, because there's something profound that's taking place for you and that you're receiving by way of insight or information about yourself. Okay, and why is that important? Because it's going to help you clear a contradiction or a mixed signal that you're putting out to the universe, which at the moment is holding you back from something that is meant or divinely destined for you. Okay, so this month, as I said, is full of aha moments, and you know, if we can really allow them to come in, you know, they might feel a bit shocking, in the sense of, gosh, why have I put up with this for so long, or why did I not see this before, or you know, the realization that something is absolutely not what you want, or where you feel at home. And so that could feel like a little bit of a wake up, shake up for you. But at the same time, it just feels like so cathartic and releasing for you. Like, I actually think that you've just got this kind of, oh my goodness, yes. You know, it's like your body physically responds in a way where you have that sort of breakthrough moment, okay? Materially, you have a lot of opportunity this month to see things come into a more tangible reality for you. Maybe it's not everything, right? So, you know, you've asked for a lot, and it's sort of in that, well, you know, it's not delivered yet being an important word here, right? But know that there is enough coming in that I feel is fruitful for you, okay? And that the remaining harvest, if you like, is on its way, right? There's a sort of sense of that. That's the best way to describe it. Like, it's like you come out of the month and you're just like, I know there's more. I know there's more coming. I know there's more in the offing for this, okay? And I think, again, that's going to give you some courage and confidence for some of the choices and decisions that you are poised to make. You have this very active energy in the month, and it's nice because it feels like it's a combination of both physical but also mental activity as well, to help you almost strategize and map out, you know, what happens in this next season for you. And you're doing it in a really grounded, leveled way. So I think this is a super important month. Like I said, power and patience. If you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we look at in the extended reading. I talk for another 25 minutes or so. We'll look at a personal and a relationship card for you as well. I'm just clarifying these cards because it will give us some sense of how we're going to explore this in a deeper way for you. So I hope you'll join me. We've got a lot of masculine energy coming through. Another King and the Emperor showing up. We've got another Hermit here as well. 10 of Wands. I think, you know, when you're at that point of knowing you need to release something, then you have to go inwards to really explore that, because part of that is also the understanding of why you've endured, or what the journey is meant for you, or how you've learned from it, because we have to sort of complete the lesson with the wisdom, right? Otherwise we're just set to go back through it all over again if we haven't really taken away from it the key learnings. Okay, another King of Wands here. If you are new to the channel, or if you are a regular, please take a moment, go check out my website, romywiser.com. If you're looking for a personal reading with me, you'll see lots of different ways to connect. You'll also find all my sacred titles, right? So my new Life Soul Vision journal, and my book, Musings, also my oracle deck, Life Soul Vision, which is this one. These are all things that I've created to support you, like wherever you are in your spiritual journey. They are packed with wisdom, with love, and rich, vibrant energy. You'll also find my membership, all my Sacred Soul support, so plenty to explore. Right, what do we have here? Spirit Wolf, certainty of trust. We've got waves crash and stars fall. We've got balanced release with equinox, Queen of Earth, beautiful. Sacral energy, there's that creative drive I was talking about. And we've also got crown energy along with the hermit. There's your downloads, some really important things coming through for you. It's definitely a month for active listening, okay? You're going to pick up an awful lot in regards to that. Okay, we're just going to look at an astrology card for you as well for this month of May, Capricorn. What do we have? We've got the energy of Mars, move forward and defend self. Right, we will explore this in the extended. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. Have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next time. Take care.